MSG, you're excited to be fighting at the Garden?
Yeah, of course. You know, this will be my first time fighting there. I've went there to watch fights a few times, and it's a real unique atmosphere. Like, there's nothing else like it in boxing, so I'm excited.
All right, so around here we know you as a DC fighter, but when you kind of move nationally, are we going to hear a little bit more about the Beltway Barrica and kind of talk about the Puerto Rican heritage a little bit more?
No, I mean, I'll still have the DC flag, you know, big on my trunks, and you know, I have a Puerto Rican patch. So, you know, I'm sure they'll know that I'm Puerto Rican or Irish. But you know, I definitely always represent DC wherever I go.
Now, there's some welterweight contenders that you look at that will be around in a year, 2 years, when you kind of make that rise. That you're looking at like a Tim Bradley or a Danny Garcia or somebody like that. So you're kind of like, I can fight that guy. I can beat that guy.
I mean, you know, Amir Khan will be around. Devin Alexander will be around. All the young fighters. Canelo will be 154, I'm sure, but you never know what weight I'll end up at. You know, I'm only 19, so all the young fighters, I'm definitely, you know, watching them still, because you never know who will be around.
And being with Jeff, do you kind of feel like it's good that you're a free agent and you're kind of, well, not a free agent, but kind of flexible, that you can fight somebody from Top Rank or somebody from Golden Boy, that you don't have to kind of deal with that kind of war that they have?
I think it's the best situation. I think the fact that I can fight Floyd or Pacquiao and they can't fight each other, I think it's a great situation.
All right. And what about the Mike Tyson thing, how we kind of put some shine on you? You don't really hear Mike Tyson talk about fighters that often, so what was it like for him to kind of give you some praise?
Man, it was good, you know, because he used me as a positive example, you know, to what a good career can happen if you turn pro as a teenager. So, you know, it was good. I had a lot of people that saw it, they reached out to me. He sent me a tweet and said I was an inspiration to amateur boxing, looking to turn pro. So, you know, it was really good. A lot of good stuff came from it. So
this is a big fight. You know, HBO will be there, Gennady Golovkin, a lot of attention. So it's not just about just winning, it's about it looking good. You guys talk about that in terms of making it look good.
I mean, we know that no matter what, whether I look good or not, the most important thing is to win, always. You know. So, of course, I do want to look good, and you know, I just been training to do my best.
All right, so recently Mike Wilbon tried to say that boxing is dead. What do you have to say to anybody who would say that?
No, it just has its own culture. It's like, you know, you get people that are in the shoes and they stand in line for shoes all day, and other people think they're crazy. And then you get boxing people that are still, other people that don't follow it think they're crazy. But boxing is the best sport to me. You get all types of characters, people that, you know, these people don't have educations. They come from tough upbringings. You get a lot of good stories in boxing. So I think it is the best sport, and I don't think it's dead at all, because if it was, Floyd would be making $40 million to fight, so, which was a record, so how can it be dead? Yeah.
So I was watching 24/7 recently. We saw Tim Bradley talking about his fight with Provodnikov, and he says a couple of months after he had slurred speech and had some issues there. Have you ever thought about like how much could you take? And with your dad in your corner, have you ever thought about like what would he let me take? He's, you know, that's still your dad. He's still got to look out for you. You don't even think about that?
No, I definitely told him to never stop the fight ever, because boxing, all it takes is one punch. And imagine stopping it 20 seconds before I would have landed that one punch to turn the fight around. So I told him never stop it. There's a ref in there for a reason, and I never want my corner.
With National Harbor building the MGM, do you ever think about kind of being a headliner at MGM right here in your backyard?
Yeah, anywhere in the, you know, the whole DC area, I would love to bring a huge title fight back here. You know, just, you know, last time I fought here we had 3,000 people.
I was there.
Come out, so if it can get bigger and bigger, I would love to keep bringing that to DC. We don't get it as often as, you know, Vegas, New York, and those places.
Now, talk to me about your upcoming fight. What do you know about this guy that you're fighting?
His name is Josh Torres. They call him the Pitbull. He's Mexican. He's from Albuquerque. He's coming out of Johnny Tapia's gym. I believe Johnny Tapia used to train him before he passed away. He's 12-2. I watched, you know, 2 tapes on him, 2 fights from 2 different angles each, and I personally think I'll be a little too fast and too tall for him. but he is tough. He throws good body shots, so I know he'll be looking to break me down. So I've been training, for him.
All right, so with Lamont Peterson losing and Seth Mitchell taking a couple bad losses, you have the opportunity to be kind of the man in terms of boxing in the DMV. How does that kind of make you feel? Is there a little bit of added pressure on that, or are you just going to do what you do?
No, I mean, it feels good because DC is such a huge boxing place, and people don't know it. So many fighters came from DC, the past champions, and to help keep it alive, it feels good. I hope we do it.
Is it cool that some outside of boxing figures have kind of attached themselves to you, like the light shows and the Wales and all those guys have kind of come out and support you?
Yeah, it's actually helping what I want to, helping keep boxing in DC alive, to get hip hop fans, then you see the basketball players and the NBA fans, and they're watching boxing now. So it helps bring a new crowd to boxing, and I really appreciate it.
And how are you balancing boxing and school?
I go take Spanish classes and get a little homework in, and it's busy, but it's not too bad.
Okay. I think that's just about all I had. Did you have anything you wanted to add say anything to say to your fans or any prospective boxers out there, young boxers that want to get in the ring?
I'll tell my fans, I just really appreciate the big turnout we're getting to people going to New York. I know hours and hours away, and to have a busload going, I really do appreciate it, and I hope they keep supporting me throughout my career.
All right, what about the young prospective boxers out there that want to be an amateur or even thinking about going pro?
I think the hardest thing in boxing to do is to stay motivated. You come to the gym and do pretty much the same thing every day for years, and then you do more of it. So it's just stay motivated and know that it all pays off in the end.
All right, any shout outs?
Just everybody comes to my fight and supports me. So
all right, cool. So what can we look forward to November 2nd?
Hopefully me walking out with the green belt.
All right, WBC Youth World Championship 147 division, Dusty Hernandez Harrison. Thank you very much.